Hello, this will be a playthrough of Renegade against Alpha-Moby, the very basic supermassive computer. The very basic one is actually the simulator for the tutorial, but that doesn't count. Once you know how to play the game, just move on up to this one. We will begin by randomly choosing a copper, a silver, and a gold countermeasure. So I'm just going to not look. I'm going to shuffle these cards. Actually, I'll start with the gold to put on the bottom. You can't look either. I'm not cutting to the camera to where you can see. All right, here is our gold. Not looking. One of these will be our silver. No going to the other camera to see what it is. There is the silver, and then finally we will be able to look at the, and I keep wanting to call it bronze. Why is it bronze and not copper? I guess this isn't the Olympics. And there is the copper. All right, put these aside. Beginning with hot wire, that is our initial countermeasure. You must have one or more uplinks, those are the green contaminants, and at least two different partitions on each Renegade's home server. So naturally, I think we will want a green hacker and a yellow one. So, and I can already tell you Heady Magnetic is going to be the yellow one that I take. The green, Monty Quantum, he's a bit of a challenge. All right, so I'm taking the green cards out. We'll build the network in a minute. Here are the yellow cards. I think I will just go with Dex, because Dex is a lot easier to manage than Monty Quantum. It's a lot easier to get Dex's. Dex has the ability to kick cards down the road more readily. Normally you can save one card so that your next hand is played with 6 cards. Dex can save 2 cards so that his later hands can be played with up to 7 cards. So we'll have Dex and Heady Magnetic. We just know that we need to get 2 uplinks on 2 separate partitions in each of our Renegade's home servers. So we will now build the network. Heady Magnetic's special ability is, in order to do a modify action on a spark, you need more replicants on that partition than sparks. But Heady Magnetic specifies, you know what, you only need as many replicants as sparks. Actually, technically, she counts as a replicant, so she'll break a tie between replicants and sparks. All right, so I'm going to shuffle these. The backs are weird. Again, you just don't look, and then one at a time, we're going to flip them up just under the table. All right, so here's the first one, which we will then connect with the second one. All right, we have blue and green. We'll do that, and here's yellow, which is where Heady Magnetic will start. So far, nice and symmetrical. And I think we can stick one. Well, yeah, here we go. We'll be fine. And then Faith, which, good, because it's right between them. And the supermassive computer starts out with sparks all over Faith. And then finally, we have the red server, which I can just do down here. All right, Dex's access point, Heady Magnetic's access point. They each start with 1 contaminant of their respective colors. So there's a replicant for Heady Magnetic. There is an uplink for Dex, which already gets us halfway towards the prerequisite of hot wire. And now setting up for Alpha-Moby. Each of us starts with a spark in our partition, and then each partition on Faith, which is the purple server, gets a spark. And because we're playing with fewer than 5 hackers, we take the number of hackers that we have, 2, we subtract that number of 5, that gives us 3, and we now put 3 data nodes on the board to represent intel we've gotten from the hackers who didn't show up to actually play the game. So let's just do this and set up a nice highway between our two servers here. All right, finally, our starting hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the Hack Shack. Good. Always like a sidekick. Can always appreciate a Chino bracelet. An Adrenaline Surge is also good, especially since we're trying to get uplinks out there. Starting with Devon at the start of his turn, Alpha-Moby adds a spark to his partition. Okay, let's see. Let's do 1 point of movement to come up here and bring, this uplink. Let's upload a replicator. And let's save these two. Heady Magnetic at the start of her turn gets a spark put on her partition. All right, let's take one of the Adrenaline Surges. Do we want the other one or should we leave it? Let's go ahead and take the other one. We will use these information to move here, which is free. We will upload an uplink, which, because we're using Adrenaline Surge, adds a second uplink. And then we will shift 1, 2. And then we will save this for the next turn. At the beginning of Dex's turn, we add a spark. We are going to take the sidekick. We are going to use the sidekick to eliminate the spark. Oh, I didn't refill the Hack Shack. All right, I'm still taking that sidekick. I'm tempted to take this. I'm now weighting my deck away from red towards yellow, which is okay with me. I will upload a replicant. I will upload an uplink. I will now get 2 movement points and go 0, bringing this. And then that's 1 movement point. And then 0 again, bringing these 2 here. And I will save this for his final turn. Heady Magnetic adds a spark to her partition. So we have met the goal for Hotwire in both cases, but Heady Magnetic has to deal with these sparks. So because she is Heady Magnetic, let me refill this. This will be handy because we are playing with a bunch of uplinks, but I don't have the blue to pay for it. I could use these, and I think I'll get the blue next turn. Yes. All right, I will spend 1 deception command to power a modify action against this guy. I don't outnumber the sparks, but Heady Magnetic's avatar counts as a replicator. And the other command I've spent is a deception, so it turns this into a replicator. I will now use this leadership as a blue to move here and bring these with me. I will use this yellow to turn this into a replicator. I will upload 2 uplinks because the 3 cognition commands, and when I'm using Adrenaline Surge, it gives me a second of that contaminant. And I will save this. Dex adds this to his partition. I will buy duality. I will take the digital tattoo. I will use this as an information and a deception to power a modify action, turning this into a data node. I will play duality to flip this to a virus. And then I will pay these to upload another replicator. And this does pretty much nothing. I can shift, so I will use this as a shift to push an information node there. And then this does nothing. All right, over to Heady Magnetic. We refill the Hack Shack. Good. Can I get that? I can work it out. We add a spark to her partition. Yes, oh, perfect. I will take the sidekick. I will use this, I will actually use this to turn, for a modify action, to turn the spark into an information node. I'm going to use this decrypt to take the vulnerability scanner. I will now use the vulnerability scanner, shift any number of uplinks on the network by one partition. So basically, here is what I want to do to line these up. That way we've got a nice highway here, each with an uplink, so we can remotely shift things out of the way. Do I want to extend this? Yeah, I kind of want to get up here on Faith. We'll go with that. I will use this sidekick to delete this spark, and then I guess upload a virus. All right, that is the end of the command phase for the hackers. We now go to the countermeasure phase. We start by checking the board to see if there are anywhere that viruses and sparks coexist, in which case they would battle. They don't. We then check to see if there's anywhere that sparks coexist with any undefended contaminants. They would delete them. There aren't. And we check to see if there are any guardians or firewalls that mess things up. There aren't. So we now go to our countermeasure card to see if we succeeded or failed. The goal, have one or more uplinks in at least two different partitions on each Renegade's home server. There are the two partitions with uplinks. And there are the two partitions with uplinks. We have succeeded, so we flip this over to its success side. Add one neural hub anywhere on the network. So a neural hub lets you project actions anywhere on that server. So I'm thinking this, in case we need to do anything with Faith up there. Now we move sparks. The highest numbered spark on blue moves one partition lower. There are none on blue. The lowest on green, which is actually this, moves one partition higher. So 6 rolls over to 1. The highest on yellow moves one partition lower, and the lowest on red, so nothing all around. All right, we purge the Hack Shack. At the beginning of Dex's turn, we will refill it. We shuffle our decks and then give our hackers new hands. At the very head of the turn, we have what's called an intel phase, where we check out the latest countermeasure. Oh, and by the way, we do get the 25-point token for successfully completing Hotwire. Oh, shoot a monkey.